From UFOs to ghost and psychic powers, history is riddled with unexplained events. You can turn back now and learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the facts. An odd story hit the papers in 2009. Two Japanese nationals were detained in Italy. Originally, reports claimed the two men were trying to enter Switzerland with $134.5 billion in U.S. bonds. Later amendments claimed these bonds were fakes, and the story disappeared almost entirely from the news. During 2009, at least two other similar busts occurred, each swiftly forgotten in the news cycles. This wasn't the last we'd hear of these mysterious bonds. In 2012, Italian prosecutors said they seized $6 trillion in U.S. bonds from safety deposit boxes at a Zurich bank. The U.S. government also confirmed these alleged 1934 bonds were fakes. From World War II German forgeries of the British pound to North Korean supernotes today, counterfeiting is an unfortunately common crime. So why do so many people think there's something more to this story? If those bonds are real, then who on earth would own that much money? Here's where it gets crazy. In November of 2011, a man known as Neil F. Keenan filed a civil lawsuit on behalf of an organization called the Dragon Family. According to the rumors, the Dragon Family is an organization composed of old families that consider themselves above the current political conflict between mainland China and Taiwan. Keenan's suit alleges that the various defendants are part of a concerted, knowing, malicious scheme and international conspiracy to defraud the Dragon Family. Here's the story. Between the world wars, China's finance minister T.V. Song and Henry Morgenthau, the U.S. Secretary of the Treasury, struck a deal to protect Chinese assets in case of a widespread war with Japan. The U.S. purchased about 50 million ounces of silver and leased a large amount of gold from the nationalist Chinese government. These metals were exchanged for certificates and sent to the U.S. The certificates allegedly became a cornerstone of Taiwan's wealth. When the Nationalist Party fled to Taiwan, they appointed the Dragon Family to safeguard these remaining certificates and wait for the time to redeem them with interest. It's an intriguing story, but there are several problems. First, the Federal Reserve claims the specific currency described in this lawsuit doesn't exist. Secondly, the alleged bonds and certificates have several noticeable spelling errors. Those who believe the bonds are genuine say these errors are purposeful, as a way to keep the U.S. from having to repay the debt. Third, this story is metamorphosized as more and more conspiracy theorists add fanciful and unproven spins on the basic tale. For example, researchers like Benjamin Fulford see this case as a hint of something much bigger, perhaps even the global collapse of the current monetary system. But, sensationalism aside, are there any facts that could prove this extraordinary story true? Currently, the answer is no. Counterfeiting schemes are, again, fairly common, so much so that the Federal Reserve mentions several on their website. However, it is true that Neil Keenan has taken the Italian police force, UN head Ban Ki-moon, and numerous other organizations to court on behalf of this Dragon Family.